Joolse here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome all my new subscribers. Do appreciate you all joining me. So what we're doing today is we're going to make some file folders, and I've seen other crafters do them. Julia from Camellia Crafts, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to put the bottom bit in as well as that. And what I did with that one, that was, you'll have to excuse my fingers, I've been changing the ink in my printer. This is printer ink, not crafting ink, and I've scrubbed it as much as I can. So this was card, and I just printed some of the digital on because obviously I wanted it to go with that. That's just cream card. Again, I printed a grungy digital on and did some stamping. This one's 5 inches by 4, and this one is 4.5 by 3, and this one's cute, and it's, you know, you can put all bits and pieces in. What I want to do is, when I get the cover on there, I want to do a big one to stick it on so it opens up, and I'll do like a policy closure on it. So what I did was I've got one of those, you know, the hanging folders, and it's yellow. I printed some digital on it, and I cut it to 10 by 7 because that's ideal. And we'll just put this out the way. And these were already folds in the folder, and I thought that was okay. But what I want to do is I want to put the, you know, the fold in that. So I'm going to go that way. Now when it sits like that, that's perfect. There's about 3/4 of an inch there, so that's the line there. So all I'm going to do, and that's it, 5/8, so 3 5/8. So then I'm going to go another 2/8, which is 3 7/8, and then I'm going to go 4 1/8. And that's perfect. So the middle one I fold that way. We'll put this out the way. And then the 2 outside ones I fold that way. So we've got 2 mountains and a valley. And that still fits like that. It's brought it up a little bit, but that's fine. So let me have a look. I'm just making sure that actually isn't, that's 11 3/4. So then that was 4 5/8. 4 7/8 and 4 1/8, and the flap that goes over the top is 1 2 3 4 5, again 2 5/8 on there. But what I want to do is I want to put some, just slightly, you know, they have like the little marks to make them go rounded, to make the top go rounded. So if your folder's, you know, going to hold a lot, you've got the bit that makes it go round, and you can just manipulate that how you like, but that's the main one. And then again, I'll just finish that down. Now what I want is, I want 2 side pieces, and I'm just measuring it from the top to there, and we've got 3.5. So I've got some of this paper left, so I want 3.5 that way and about 1 inch that way. So I'm going to cut that. There we are, we have the other side, and that's 2 inches by 3.5 inches, and again 1/2 inch increments, so it's 1/2 inch, 1 inch and 1.5 inches, and again fold that in half, fold it down and fold it down there. And again, and if these are too long, it's fine, because you have to watch that these don't get caught up in your wee bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bit that's going on the bottom, the middle bit, like that. And these sit in the side like that, and then you've got your opening on these, and it's, I think they're tailor-made stamps. So I've got that one, and I've got that one, and it was the one with the trackers. This has got like weekly, monthly trackers. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping on it first, and I'm going to do some inking. And then what I want to do is I want to lightly, and it is just lightly, just to pick up on the ridges. And it just makes it look that little bit more grungy. And there we are. So what are we going to have on this? I think we'll have the date. So get my stamps out. And we'll place that on there. I always place it on where I'm going to stamp first to make sure it fits. I quite like these stamps. I didn't think I would use them when I got them. I've had them a good while, but I've been making shipping tags with these things as well. So there we've got that. Just going to use a wipe just to clear that up. Get on there, and I think we'll have that. It should go upright, but I'm going to have it on the bottom because I quite like it. And I might have the stars. I'll just position that in the middle like that. Okay. It doesn't really matter what you've got on it. You can have what you like. You can have flowers or whatever. And there we are. So there we've got that. And then on here, take that one off, put that one back. I think we'll have the stars that way. And then what do we want? I think we'll use this one. I'm not quite sure what to call this, but should we have it like that and have the stars underneath at an equal? No. I'm going to have it right down there. And I'm going to have the stars that way with that line. Too small. Too small. Okay. And I think I'll use the VersaFine Smoky Grey on this one. So it's not as sharp as the onyx. So it looks a little bit worn in. And I'm just, otherwise you'll have my head. There we are. Stars back, and I think we'll have the date stamp. We'll do that in the smoky grey as well. And we'll have that, I think we'll have that here. There we are. Put them out the way. Put these out the way. And there we have it. So this one I want a policy fastener on it. So where's my circles? I did have some circles somewhere. There they are. There's one. I'm looking for one, a similar one. Could we have a big one on that? Let me have a look. No, just doesn't look right. I need to get another circle punch that size. So this, and I think I might use some of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stick that. I was going to use these, but I'm not. I'm going to cut round it because my circle punch has been thrown in the bin. Come to its end of life. I've tried sharpening it, oiling it. I even tried sharpening it with Coke, soda cans, metal, because the aluminium foil didn't work, and it didn't work. So I'm just going to cut around this. There's one. And there's the other one. And where's my little circle punch? So I'm going to have a little circle on the top, and I think we'll have it that colour. That back there. Just think around these. You can do these in any colour, that doesn't really matter. I mean, if I wanted to, I could do it that way. I quite like it that way. I'm going to stick that on because I don't want this separate, and try and get it as near to the middle as possible. So, and again, and this has just got the remainder of ground espresso on it, so that's fine. Again, we'll stick this on. And get as near to the middle as possible, and then I'm going to poke holes in the center, again guessing the middle, and just wiggling that round a bit just to get make the hole a little bit bigger. That there, and want some split pins. I'm going to try see what it looks like with a big one and a small one. Yeah, I think the small ones look better. Get another brass one. I'm not sure, I think these might be Tim Holtz, the long-legged ones. Okay. And what I want is, I'm going to take them back out again. I just wanted to try, see what they look like. So what I want is, I want one there, and I want one there. I'm just guessing the middle again. I'm just sorry if I'm out of camera shot. I'd already poked the holes in, and then we'll put this in here. Just put the legs over. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to put some masking tape over this. I'm just using what's on my ink blender just to blend it in, more for the top than the bottom. It doesn't really matter about what's there because you're not going to see that. And again, what I do is I just place it on, then turn it that way. And just spread that down a bit. And you can see there's plenty of room for, and you can see if you push it down that way, it kind of crinkles and again, just put that on the top slightly and lay it on the bottom. And there we have it. So I'm just going to tidy up a little bit to get my desk free of rubbish. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to put these side bits in. So again, I'm going to ink these edges. And I'm just going to ink that one and then fold it back in. And these go in there like that. So again, you can do these any size, you don't have to do them the size that I've done. I was going to have a go at making a teeny tiny one, but I didn't have time. And that's how that goes. So what we want to do is we want to and we'll put that on there, and I want it as close to the edge as possible, so before it grips, just make sure. And the same with this one. Remembering that your V that you cut out goes to the bottom because it has to fit over the top of that. And again, put it to the edge, as near to the edge as possible. And there we are. And then okay. Turn that way, because that will make it easier. In and then squish it down. That one in. It's easier once you've got it in that you can line it up. I find it easier to line it up against the edge of the card. And there we have it. Oh, don't do that because you'll pull it off until it grips. So while we're waiting on that to dry, I'm going to get some string. Twine. Okay, so I'm just going to use twine on this. So just tie that in a good knot. So it's left over right, right over left, or right over left, left over right, whichever. As long as it's knotted. And then some people leave this one, but I don't. I always cut it off. And then just wrap it round. And there we have it. So I'll get my daisy journal and I'll show you what I mean. So I've got this. So what I want to do is I want to fix that like that. So it's like a policy pocket, but when you open it up, it's actually, it expands, you know, so you can put more in it. And because of the way I put these pages in, I've got 1/2 inch like that, so I can put all sorts on there. So that's how I want that to fit, and I think it's pretty cool. So what I also want to do, we'll keep that out, that's my Happy 4th of July folder. I decided I wanted to try one on book page, and I was going to do it off camera, but then I thought, no, I'll do it on camera. So this is encyclopedia paper, so it's quite thin, it's like dictionary paper. So I glued 5 pages together, and it is quite a big book. And then I cut it to, I took this end and I did a line at 3 inches, 3.5 and 2.5. So we've got that bit. And at this side I did one at 2.5. So right, so at both ends I did one at 2.5, but the side that's going to be the bottom I then went to 3 and 3.5. And I folded them. And I don't know how this is going to work. I'm hoping that it works. And this one I'm going to put in my botanical journal that I'm working on now. And then there we are, we have that like that. So again, I'm going to cut the corners, but I'm going to do slightly more rounded corners. And also what I was thinking was stitching round this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and I'm going to stitch round it, and I'll be back in a minute. So I'll see you in a while. So that's me back. So there I've stitched round it, and I did it in green. Went off a little bit there, but not bothered. So now what I want is I want the little insert to go there. So I have got some little bits that I cut off, and these measure 1.5 inches. So I'm going to do these in 1/4 inch increments if I can. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so I can't. So I'm going to have to do half of 1.5 is 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch down the middle, and then 1 1/8 there. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, which is 1, 2, 4/8, just the notch over 1/4. And we'll have that there, that there. I might be able to get the 2 of them out of this one. Okay, I think I can get the two of them out of this one. So, and I'm not going to put them right down to the bottom on this. I'm just going to put it up a little bit. Yeah. I'm just going to put it up a bit. So I'll show you on the camera. So that's where the valley fold or the mountain fold on the inside goes. So I just want it just up, and I'm just cutting it there, and then I will just cut this one the same, and then we'll put these in. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to do any stamping on this one. We've got a little bit there that looks like a circuit board, an old-fashioned circuit board, because that looks like electricity. It's oh, it's the direction of speech. So it's sort of like the sending and the receiving. But I have got some die cuts and pieces, and that's what I'm going to use. And I've got some die cuts, so do I want the ivies on? That's a bit too big. That's too big. There's an ivy leaf. Now, do you know what? I'm just going to go with the butterflies because I quite like the green. And what about this? Or even part of this. Okay, so I'm going to have this. And I'm going to have this. So we're putting them all on separate. So I will put that that way. I'm going to ink round it. There. We'll have that there. Where's the other one? The other bit. Where is it? Where have you gone? There you are. So we'll have that there, or should we have that the top, over the top there? Now I'm going to have that butterfly, and I am going to, this is kind of kiss cut, it's not totally cut out, there is some white lines around it, which is fine. And I think we might have a little bit of cotton thread, so these are just what I took off the sewing machine. And what I usually do is tie them in a knot. Fold them in half where the knot is, and then cut them. Let's see where I'm going to put my butterfly. So we'll put them there. If they're not spread out, it doesn't matter. And then we'll just glue this. I've glued the little sort of like long ends, the body and the Right. If you hear any noises, I've just got some workmen coming in. Hopefully they won't talk too much. They'll just get on with the job. Okay, so now this. Right, the alarm's going to go off at right. Just checking the carbon monoxide alarm. It's just a gas check. I'm just, again, like I did with the yellow one, putting this right up against the edge. And again, because it's paper and it's been glued, the edges aren't glued right up to the edges, so I'm just slipping a little bit of glue in there. I'll just put that down there, and again just we'll put this one down first. And then this one. And there we have it. So we've got our nice little pocket. And I'm just going to trim them off. Oh, brought that out, silly me. Where's my pokey tool? That's it. I'm just separating the threads. Just okay. So that's that one. And I'm just wondering if I should have a little bit of got another one somewhere. Yeah, I think that one. So I'm just putting that round there. And then this is green ink that's on this finger tool. And a bit of yellow at the edges. Should have put a bit of blue in it as well, just to give it that. Just mixing my inks a bit. Yep, take a little bit off that. And I think we'll put a label on this one. Might even put a little bit of lace on. So what labels have we got? And crown that one. Yep, that one will go there. And I think what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of lace under. Yep. So what I'm doing is I'm just, and this lace I get from Temu, and I like this because I can cut it in half. Then I'll pop it on there, and I quite like that. Yep. Yep. So I'm going to go with the fabric glue for this. And again, I'm just putting a nice even coating across the, I'm not squeezing it out anymore, I'm just using the nozzle to spread it. And we'll just put that on there. And I'll use my silicone brush. Okay, and we'll just cut that off there, like that. And that one off there. Just put them out the way. So there we have it. So I won't press that down too much because of that's still wet with glue underneath. But there we have that. So we've got the, so the two folders that we made are there, and we'll have a look at that one and see what it looks. I mean, it's going to go in my botanical journal, but the colours on this one are quite nice. But yeah, you can see, and I mean, you don't have to do it green. You could do the cotton different colours. You could do it black, different fussy cuts. You could do stamping on it. I may even still put a big chunky number on the bottom. The text isn't running the right way, but you don't notice it, but it would pop in a pocket. Oh, wait till it's dry before you start popping them in pockets. And there we are, but it would go nice with that. So there we are. So I hope you get something out of that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.